ready for Bill's debut at UNC, Keefe?
Oh, I was ready. Monday Night Football, the only game in town. All eyes on Chapel Hill and Chapel Bill. Real quick, while this song is still playing, I should mention, you and I are a fan of this song.
Yeah. You were at the concert, right? I heard
not,
that
no.
wasn't. Oh, that wasn't you at the Corn concert.
No, I was going to say. It turns out we're not the biggest fan of this song. As they had it in the news on the Greg Hill Show, there was a gentleman that saw Korn live in concert and really couldn't help himself to this song in particular.
Who could?
That's true.
We hold back every
sexy band.
We hold back every day.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy just was abusing himself to this song in public. Like 100,000 people or whatever, 70,000 people there. And he was just going to work, and then he had to get, removed from the stadium. Like, he just couldn't help himself.
Nope.
And it was to this song of all. So now, hopefully, everybody thinks about something else.
Is he a Korn fan or is he just a Jones and Keefe fan?
Both.
I wouldn't even rule it out.
It's true.
I guess the Venn diagram, there's a lot of overlap.
Ton of overlap. He's like, I got to see this intro song live.
So he was treating his body like TCU treated UNC.
Yeah, that
last
was
night.
That was a beatdown. Although that first drive for North Carolina looked pretty good.
Oh, that was nice.
They did have a 7-0.
Nice.
They had a 7-0 lead.
Yeah.
And then the wheels kind of fell off and were lit on fire. It was an absolute disaster, especially when you factor in right off the rip. Nice drive by North Carolina. They pan up. You see the real GOAT, Michael Jordan, Roy Williams, Lawrence Taylor, perhaps another GOAT. Pan over to another camera box. You got Randy Moss, almost a GOAT, nearly a GOAT.
Yeah, right there.
And Jordan Hudson.
Yeah.
A little FaceTime right off the rip, like 30 seconds or a minute into the game. You see all five of them. The big five of North Carolina, they're calling them.
That's a Mount Rushmore plus one.
That's right.
For UNC greats. So, yeah, did they ever show her again? We got it up now on twitch.tv/Boston WEEI.
Jordan,
I don't think they ever showed her
Moss.
again. I was begging for them to show her after TCU had their first touchdown, then the pick six touchdown.
Well, they had
Not talking about this.
Then the long run touchdown.
Right.
I was begging for them to put her back on the screen. I never saw her.
No,
again.
she got the Sergio Dip treatment. One and done. On the screen, and then see you later. But yeah, that was a debacle. That was an absolute debacle. It really couldn't have gone any worse for Bill Belichick, especially because I think the Monday Night Football aspect, the ESPN treatment, this was full go. You had the number one broadcast team, Kirk Herbstreit and his dog, which another whole thing. But they had all them there. Everybody's watching this game. This wasn't buried at noon on Saturday with 30 other games.
No.
This was the only game going.
Full pregame festivities, Saban and McAfee and everybody breaking down the game, talking up Bill. Oh, it's going to be so great. All the UNC greats are there. They show Bill walking in with his chest rattling around. They're showing all of it. Yeah. And then that happens.
And then did you see the stands?
Oh,
late third quarter?
Out. Empty.
So my wife wasn't paying attention to the game, and then she looks up and she's like, "How come no one's at this game?" I'm like, "Well, they were.
Where's everybody at?"
Yeah, they were there. They all left taillights with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I read, you know how they have those pulsating bracelets? They do those things for the crowd. They hand them all out.
Oh no,
they had a whole thing planned for the second half.
Is that what that guy at the Korn concert had? I don't know if he gets started. But anyway, yeah.
They had all those planned for the second half. They had a light show planned for the second half. And
just they pulled the plug.
I think it was pretty sad looking because there weren't a lot of bracelets out there in the stands.
Real sad looking. And then not only that, did you see the post-game press conference set up? They have balloons and streamers.
Oh, the balloon arch.
Was that Jordan?
Well, I saw some people speculating that was probably I think it's Jordan's contribution.
I think it's a good guess that could be her, but yeah, no, I mean, I guess you can look at it this way. There's only one way to go, and that would be up. That was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster of a performance.
So I expected TCU to blow them out. I still didn't expect it to be that non-competitive. That was really wildly non-competitive to the point where Herbstreit and Reese Davis were just making excuse after excuse after excuse. They're they can't compete on the lines.
Who got more excuses, Bill Belichick or Arch Manning? I feel like those two both were getting just hey, guys, they're actually both great. It's are they? I'm not sure.
Probably Bill.
Probably Bill.
I'd say probably
maybe.
Bill. He's got more friends in the media than Arch. I mean, Arch has a lot of family friends. But I don't think they were as willing to give him an excuse.
No, that thing was competitive early, and it was a nice first drive, and it got people out there enough to be look at this. And it was a classic Bill Belichick reaction, right? This is they score a touchdown. Everybody on the sidelines is going crazy. He's just staring whatever, I don't care. which was the right reaction to have, by the way, because maybe he knew what was coming. And then it was even tied after the first quarter, and you're like, all right, maybe there's a game here, and then there was not a game.
No, there was not. So you can discuss 617-779-7937. It is a Patriots Monday. On a Tuesday, I will talk to Hunter Henry and Christian Ellis later on in the program. It's also a Tier Tuesday.
Woo!
We're going to tier off all the teams in the NFL coming up at 11:30. It's a Tom E. Tuesday with Tom E. Curran at high noon. And we also have a Keefe Madness for you at 12:45, so stay tuned for it. You can interact on Twitter and Instagram at Jones and Keefe. Watch along and chat. Twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Always a healthy chat going on Twitch.
Yep.
T's and P's to some of the big Bill Belichick fans in the Twitch chat. It's going to be a rough day for you. You can also watch and subscribe on YouTube. Just subscribe to WEEI. How bad's it going to be for Bill, Keefe?
So I do think that they have a pretty easy schedule because we were going over this before, and it's kind of funny how it mirrors the Patriots, where even if you don't love the Patriots roster, or not that we're all in the weeds on North Carolina football roster, but there's a big turnover. They don't have a great talent base, but they play Charlotte next week, then Richmond, then Central Florida. So I might have been high with 8 wins, but I don't think it's going to be like this. They can't get out of their own way. They're going to lose every game type of season. This was a horrible start, but I still think like 500 is certainly within reach for them. I think they play one ranked opponent, and it's Clemson, and they'll probably get demoralized by Clemson, but that happens.
I was going to say, I can already see how it's going to go. They play, and you just said it, it's Charlotte and Richmond and UCF the next 3 games.
Now, come back to me in 3 weeks, and if they're 1-3 or 2-2, I'll be like, all right, this is bad.
Yeah,
this is real bad. Yeah.
They're going to be 3-1, I'd imagine. Like, as bad as that was, I looked up UCF. I'm not even bothering to look up Charlotte and Richmond.
No.
They're 1AA FCS schools.
Charlotte just lost to App State by, like, 30.
Okay.
So, like, Charlotte stinks.
I did look up UCF. I think they barely won against, like, Jacksonville State or something like that, because I was like, that's been a competitive program.
Jacksonville State by a touchdown.
Okay. Yeah. So I looked up UCF because I'm like, maybe they'll give UNC a game. I doubt it. They'll probably be 3-1 going into Clemson. All of Bill's friends in the media will be sucking up to him again. And, TCU was a tough team, but now Bill's got it rolling. And Clemson is going to curb stomp them at UNC.
Yeah,
so that's going to be fun. I'll parachute back in for that one coming up. But no, it's going to be bad, Keefe. And in retrospect, it's going to be bad because there was a lot of excuse making by Bill with Reese Davis before the game. Oh, we got 70 new players. Oh, we got to rebuild the UNC program, which I don't want to tell you North Carolina's been good the last handful of years. They haven't been good.
Yeah, but he's not taking over some crap team.
Thank you. He's not taking over a 2 or 3 win team.
No, they're a bowl team every year.
They're a bowl team every single year.
Yeah.
And they're not great. I don't want to overstate what they are.
No.
6 or 7 wins. The 2 years with Drake May, I think they won 8 and 9 games off the top of my head. So they were a little better with Drake, but usually they're like a 6 or 7 win team. I'm not saying they're good or great by any means. But Bill's not taking over a doormat like Deion took over at Colorado. By the way, Deion beat TCU in his debut.
Yeah, and TCU was ranked that year, too.
TCU was ranked that year. Yep. So Deion did beat TCU. Bill obviously got blown out last night. He's not taking over a team like Deion took over at Colorado. He's taking over a decent, not great, but a decent program, and he's making it sound like he took over an absolute doormat. And the truth is, he ran all those players off. He handpicked this bum-ass quarterback from South Alabama. That's his handpicked quarterback that he chose.
Yeah, he's good. You see who the backup is?
I did. Brad Johnson's kid?
Brad Johnson's kid. Johnson & Johnson. You see that?
I did see that.
Also, as people were pointing out, Max Johnson, the backup quarterback who ended up getting a majority of the time last night, same age as Jordan Hudson.
I saw
so there is that.
I didn't fact check this, but I saw when the score was 41-7, someone tweeted out that, that's interesting because when Bill was 41, Jordan was 7.
I think that's actually being too generous. I think he would have been like 51 and she was 7.
Yeah, I didn't bother.
I don't know. I don't even think that's right. He's like 49 years older, so that was not even accurate.
Good job,
it was a good tweet.
Good burn.
So the last 5 years for North Carolina, they were a 6-win team. Then they fired Mac Brown. But 8, 9, 6, 8. And one of those years, they went to the Orange Bowl.
Yeah. Well, how can you get good players in the transfer portal? Oh, wait. All those TCU players crapping on UNC last night were from the transfer portal just about? The running back who went 75 yards, the wide receiver who they couldn't cover, all those guys were in the portal. Why didn't Bill get those guys?
Yeah, college football.
Bill got all the crappy players. TCU got all the good ones, apparently.
So that's I'm also interested in is if Bill Belichick coaches these guys up the same way that he had been coaching pro guys, like his sort of style, kind of a hard-on-you style, like what – are those guys going to stay? Like, or is it just going to be like,
I don't get the sense a lot of people are going to want to stay after all that.
I don't think Bill is.
Yeah.
I don't think Bill is. I don't think Bill's going to have. I think he's like, this is not really what I want to do. I thought maybe it was more of like the off the field stuff. The way this offseason went was a disaster, like a PR nightmare for North Carolina.
They all correlate though. One impacts the like Bill's disaster off the field rolls right into what happened last night on the field. I wouldn't separate those two.
But I also think if you're a player, and a lot of it is, and I've heard like Ty Law and Wiggy and those guys talking about it. These kids are so young, it's really going to be more the parents that are going to be, like, blown away by, wow, that's Bill Belichick there on the sideline, or that's Bill Belichick recruiting my kid. The kid is less interested in it. But even the parents, I think, are going to get to a point where you're like, all right, Bill Belichick has an unbelievable resume, but in the 6 years post-Brady, right? So forget Cleveland, forget the Bledsoe year, forget even the Castle year. Just talk about recent times where he's a little bit older, and some of the decisions that he has made, and just the results. Yeah, the results are a mess. Like, it's been really bad since then. So you're like, all right, do I want my kid to go play there, or do I want him to go play for, Dabo Sweeney or Steve Sarkisian or Ryan Day or, like, those guys? Like, those are the big-time coaches right now in college football. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to win a lot of recruiting battles against those guys.
Me neither.
Despite the name.
He was already losing a bunch of them against TCU, apparently.
Right.
So you think there's a chance he doesn't survive the year?
No, I think he's one and done.
Okay.
I'm saying one and done.
Sorry. Right.
I don't think he
won't
coaches
make it to year two.
That's what yeah, I think it's kind of I mean, college football is wacky, right? We've seen some weird stuff. We've seen like Bobby Petrino going pro, bailing. We've seen all kinds of weird stuff. Coaches going up there and telling you, I'm for sure not going here, and then they do. But I think he made it to opening night, and I thought it was pretty dicey the last several months. But he made it to opening night. I think it's going to be a rough go, but I think they win a few games. It's not going to like be a bottom out kind of thing. It's not going to be like Charlie Weiss at Kansas, where they were like just like a mess. I think he gets through the season, but then he probably thinks, is this really what I want to be doing?
So will Bill Belichick make it to year two? You can discuss at 617-779-7937. He is the former head coach of the New England Patriots. That's the Pepsi Key Takeaway, brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New England Patriots. Key
Shelf
takeaway
life for you.
What was it again?
Shelf life.
I don't think he's back for year two.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not sure he's making it through. Based on how that started last night, and based on how I think it's going to look anyway. Like, the real thing, Herb Street, I think, had it pretty accurately last night. I think he had it pretty good.
They're bad. Oh.
You heard his excuse making, by the way?
Oh, yeah, he was talking to somebody in the truck?
Yeah.
I was talking to my producer. He said something off.
He also made the mistake of saying, I said you're bad, which, again, clearly he did say that again.
They're bad. Oh.
I don't think he said you're bad. Did he say you're bad?
Now it's like a Laurel Yanni thing. I can't tell.
Oh, blue dress, gold dress kind of thing?
Yeah.
Now hear it again.
They're bad.
See, now that you're putting it in my ear, it could be your bad.
Oh, I think it's their bad.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought originally when I heard it, too.
But it's a hot mic situation.
Yikes.
For Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah, no, they're going to be terrible this year. And the real story with what happened last night, this is what Bill's teams have looked like. Like, this is not new with Bill's teams for the last handful of years. It's the worst beatdown he's ever had, right? I don't think he's ever allowed 48 points.
That's
I saw that
wild.
stat. I could have sworn.
Just because you would think that some team along the way, like, whatever, get him next time, like on to Cincinnati. Like, they didn't give up that many points that week in Kansas City.
It felt like it that game against Kansas City.
Yeah.
I could have sworn he did it in the Saints and Cowboys games back-to-back.
Yeah.
His final year here in New England. But the truth of the matter, for people who pay attention, none of the game day crew does. A lot of the Patriots fans who adore Bill Belichick to this day chose to ignore this willingly while we were watching him coach week in, week out, lose. Without Brady the last 5 years, this is what it's been. This is what he's been in his tail end in New England, and now it's carried over to UNC. I mean, that's more the norm. Non-competitive, bad penalties, unimaginative offense. How many times are they going to hand off on first and second down?
I mean, as many times as you can.
Couldn't complete a pass.
Yeah.
Can't find a quarterback to save his life. I mean, that's what Bill's been
like they hit the
since
transfer,
Brady left.
They hit the transfer portal, and you're like, all right, who'd they get? Kid from South Alabama. You mean Alabama? No. No, God, no, not Alabama. South Alabama. You're like, all right, well, good luck with that.
Right. Bill O'Brien landed like 10 times the quarterback that Bill Belichick got.
Yeah. No, that was not great. So next week, for example, just to kind of get a sense of just how bad it could be. Like, this was bad. It was a horrible start. So they're at Charlotte next week. Do you want to guess the spread of that game?
I saw it. Are they like 21-point favorites?
Yeah, well, this is 16.5, but like still, like it's Oh,
Well,
wow.
maybe
You saw
maybe-
21 and a half?
Maybe I saw 21 and a half last
Before
night,
the
and
game?
it took a dive after the game, maybe.
But even still, so like Charlotte's so bad, so you're like, all right, if Bill's going to find a way to get to 6 wins, let's say, like get bowl eligible. Because like that's, I think for a college coach, like going in, we're like, oh, what's a success? Like obviously making the college football playoff would be an overwhelming success. But I think for a lot of these coaches, especially when you're not at one of the big 5 to 10 schools, be bowl eligible is like sort of a baseline. So if you're not that, it's a disaster, and there's no talking around it.
That would not be good. Football talk on WEEI presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. You can watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Just visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. You can weigh in on Bill Belichick's debut. How bad was it? How bad is it going to be? And will Bill be back for year 2 at 617-779-7937? Good question here, Keefe, on the text line.
Yeah.
Will you guys make it longer than Bill? Is that the new?
Oh boy.
We got to pit our show against Gerard Mayo.
No.
Now we got to pit it against Bill.
How long's Bill's contract for?
Oh, he's got.
Like a 10-year deal?
No, it wasn't that long, but was it like
5 or 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
5 or
6. 7 or 8.
I think
Good
that's what
call.
it was.
I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx
Well,
it.
if you think
Although
he-
I am saying he's going to be
If you
down
think
in a
he's
year.
not going to make it
Yeah.
back for year 2, and we can just make it to our March Madness bracket,
Oh, we have to. We have
to, Ken.
Yeah,
if you're
we have
listening,
to.
we have to. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to make any bold
Let
proclamations.
the people decide.
But if you want to call in and discuss that,
Yeah.
you can.